Hey everyone, this is me back again, Libby from Meister Tarot. I am doing a series of 3 recordings, 2 to 3 recordings in the one day. Feeling a bit in the throat, a bit in the nose, so this is just in case I don't make it through the night. First of all, I want to acknowledge our First Nations people in the Warramai lands that I now sit on. And the topics I'm going to tackle over these 3 days are nothing urgent. So if you see me, there is nothing that has sprung out urgently. These are just more general questions that will take time to eventuate, but are interesting. So what I want to have a look at today, I'm going to have a look at will Mark Meadows be Trump's fall guy? Now, modus operandi of Trump is to leave no paper trail. He's always has been very good at setting somebody up to take the fall for him, so he will strongly suggest or even tell that person to do his bidding. They do the bidding, and then when it all goes to custard, that person is in the firing line because there is nothing other than he said, she said to tie actually to Trump. So I'm going to have a look to see whether Mark Meadows is Trump's fall guy for a few reasons, which I'll mention. I'm going to have a look at Liz Cheney in the primaries, which are coming up for Wyoming. And I have read on that before, so we'll see if the energies are still the same. And I'm going to have a look at Biden. Is Biden going to declare a climate emergency so he can get his renewable energy agenda through Congress, or is he going to wait till after the midterms? So what I shall start with is Mark Meadows. So I'm going to use my trip and wait cards here because what a fool, and just see whether he will be Trump's take the fall for Trump. So he was the White House Chief of Staff. Apparently during the Cassidy Hutchinson has given a testimony under oath that while the riot, the incursion, the insurrection was going on, Mark Meadows sat in his office and fiddled on his phone despite people trying to contact him, people pleading with him to do something, and then he eventually got up, handed both his phones to Miss Hutchinson and walked out. So, yes, right. Okay, so several witnesses have come forward and claimed that he was a central organiser of the January 6th riot, the pre-organisation, despite him denying it, and those in the White House at the time denying that he was. Apparently he had, in front of others, what was his name? Johnston? Can't remember his position. He was in the car with Mark Meadows. Mark Meadows was on a burner phone on speaker, so Johnston could hear what was being said, and Johnston has testified to the January 6th Commission in that he was discussing with 2 other persons. Again, I can't remember their names, I didn't write it down, but it is in an article that I'll post in my little blurby section underneath. He was on a burner phone talking to 2 others that were on burner phones, and Johnston has advised of this because he actually bought the phones. They were discussing whether prior to the march, quite a bit prior to the march, whether to actually make the march official, as in give approvals, etc. They decided against it because it would then become obvious that it was pre-planned, of course, but it would also then, they would need to organise police and militia and barricades, and there would be a whole lot of restrictions on the marches themselves if it was an official march. So they apparently decided against making it official, despite knowing that it was going to happen, so that they could claim that the march itself was spontaneous. So we'll have a look at that. What's happening is it's not looking good for Mark Meadows, but again, that chain of command upwards is not solid. There's nothing so far to say that Trump organised this. I think what he's done is his usual style is that he's said what he wants to happen and then left it to others to make it happen and sort out the nitty-gritties, so he can have clean hands and say, no, it wasn't me. The fool. Wasn't he foolish? Absolutely foolish. Goodness me. You know, Mark Meadows really should have been smarter than that. Anyhow, I think what's happened is all these people, called it the other day like being on this wild roller coaster. They got caught up on this wild journey, this adrenaline, this power trip, this super high highs and this, screaming yay and all the rest of it, and didn't think anything through if it went the other way. So will Mark Meadows be Trump's fall guy? Will Mark Meadows be Trump's fall guy? Full Celtic I might do for Mark Meadows. Tell me about Mark Meadows. Where will it all go for him? My mind went to Bannon. He's going to jail. Don't worry about that. Whether it's 1 year or 2 years, I don't know, but he'll find it extremely difficult. But Mark Meadows. Tell me about what's in store for Mark Meadows. Will he be Trump's fall guy? They're a bit slippery, these cards. Mark Meadows, Trump's fall guy. Going to go and have myself some delicious homegrown sweet potato and ginger soup with extra garlic and spring onions. Okay, thank you, Master. Oh, we got there eventually. Okay. King of Swords, he's under investigation, we know that. So these are the investigators looking at him. Okay, he is being sacrificed. Now, he's the fall guy. This is about can be things seen from a different point of view, but I'm reading this and I'm seeing it and I'm being told it, that he is. Okay, it often means the willing sacrifice, but I'm going to take the willing off. He's just going to be the sacrificial lamb in regards to all this, in regards to Trump. Oh, man. Okay. See where it goes. Oh, you have to laugh at, Trump demands loyalty, but when it comes to being loyal to those that have done his bidding, he's never seen. Knight of Cups, he is going to actually come forward with an offer. He's going to offer something. Wow, okay. Mark Meadows, in the past, he was at... This is the past, but take note in the past. It's about a real... it's about a crossroads in regards to truth. This person's got his back to the symbol of peace. He's got his back to the rainbow and the beautiful outlook there, and he has his eyes shut. Oh, he's got his sunglasses on, extra dark sunglasses, and he has these swords crossed. So he was at a real truth decision-making crossroads, and it was a crossroads also for the United States. But this is in the past. I'm drawn to this one. I think he's actually already talking. Okay, keep going. Crowning the reading. Victory. Interesting. At the top of the reading. This is about the team. Okay, thank you. This is not necessarily about victory. This is about the messages of who was working together to make this all happen. And it's a parade, a march. Okay. The Tower, immediate future. Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good for Meadows or Trump. It's a tower moment for Mark Meadows. But I'm really drawn to this, so we'll see where this goes. Now, it's not a particularly destructive tower, this one. It's more of a gentle unbuilding. They've removed the head off it. There's these pearls of peace there. It's just more like a gentle destruction rather than a catastrophic. Oh, and I'm drawn to the background, the Parthenon in the background. This is about undoing the dictatorship government. Now, I know the Greeks sort of claim, the Greeks and the Romans, they're all, oh no, we were a democracy. Well, yes, you were a democracy if you were a landed white man, but this is about undoing that. Okay, externally. Manifestation of possibilities, pulling the rabbit out of the hat, bringing together diversity and unity, and I'm really drawn to the three doves of peace at the top there. So this is externally. This is actually really calming, so strange as it is. Internally, here is the Queen of Cups. She, this cup is covered. She has something in regards to relationships that she is bringing to the table. This is Mark Meadows bringing it to the table with his... It is a calm and diplomatic manner, but it is something that he's... I mean, look at her staring at that cup. She has something that she is determinedly going to expose. So I think what's happening is that with... I'm really drawn to this figure under the chair as well. This child bringing forward this fish. Like, wait, I have something. Because they've got their hand up saying, wait a minute. The cherub. Hopes and fears, Trump. Oh dear, how did I know that was going to come out? Okay, the outcome, Russia. The Russian influence. The fast message bringing back rebalancing and simplicity. And death, which is the downfall of the king, so that something new can be reborn. Yeah, I'm loving this. And here's your fool. He realises his foolishness. Basically pack the world. Culmination. So I don't think he's going to go down for Trump. Strange that. For someone who demands such loyalty of people, and then he just throws them to the wolves, and then he wonders why they don't defend him anymore. Oh dear. Okay, so I think Mark Meadows is already talking. I think he has information to bring. He's got stuff that he hasn't yet revealed, but what I'm getting is he's not going to take the fall for Trump. He's not. So he will talk. He will spill the beans. Right, Liz Cheney. Now, I didn't look to see who she was up against, but it is the primary, so she'll be up against a stack of them. I didn't look to see who Trump's... I think it's a female. Trump's backed. So Liz Cheney is not backed Trump. Is not being backed by Trump. She's actually been backed by Pence of all people, which is quite interesting. However, Liz Cheney has come out and said she is prepared to lose her seat in Wyoming over her position in the January 6th Commission because being the vice chair on the panel of the January 6th Commission, exposing all this corruption and dishonesty, etc., she has said is the most important work she will undertake in her lifetime as a lawmaker. So she's actually prepared to lose Wyoming for the sake of bringing forward the truth, which I think, don't agree with her policies, but I think is very admirable. She's also changed her opinion on gay rights and gay marriage. She actually apparently has a sister, and she's come around and realised, I think, how she has been deceived by the power brokers in the GOP. So the primary elections in Wyoming are on the 16th of August. Now take note, anybody can vote in the primaries. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, you can vote for either party. Now if you vote for Liz Cheney as a Democrat, if you're a registered Democrat, and I still don't get this registration system, if you're a registered Democrat in Wyoming, you can vote for Liz Cheney in the primary. So please, 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 please do so. Doesn't mean you have to vote for her in the actual election, on the November elections, the midterms, but it does mean that she becomes the GOP representative in the election. So I would encourage that, as bizarre as it feels. Okay, tell me how Liz Cheney's going to go in the 16th of August GOP primaries. I have read on this a couple of times before. I'm not going to, now that she's come out and said that, now that the information, and please let people know that it doesn't matter who you're registered, what party you're registered for, you can vote in the GOP primaries, apparently. Let me know if I got that wrong. So let me know how Liz Cheney, because there's been a big attitude change in regards to a lot of things since I last looked at Liz. Tell me how will Liz Cheney go in the GOP primary selections, 16th of August. How will Liz Cheney go? Okay, this is okay. The two cards that threw out, the sword of truth piercing the crown. This goes back to her saying, bringing the truth and standing up for the Constitution and the rights of Americans to live in a free and democratic society is more important to her than retaining a governmental seat. And then we have disappointment with what's happened. Base of the pack is the moon, so the seedy underbelly, the swamp that is being waded through, and then loss and disappointment. The 3 cups are spilled, 2 cups still remain. I'm wondering whether she will lose just. I might ask a little bit further to do a fuller reading on that. Tell me about Liz Cheney and her position in the GOP. Liz Cheney and her position in the GOP. Tell me about Liz Cheney and her position in the GOP. And if she just loses it, it'll be because of corruption, gerrymandering, fraud, you name it. Now I'm just but that was just the primaries. Tell me about Liz Cheney and her political future. Tell me about Liz Cheney and her political future. Liz Cheney and her political future. Liz Cheney and her political future. full Celtic, please. Wyoming, currently Wyoming. Liz Cheney and her political future. However it may be. Come on, cards, come together. Liz Cheney and her political future. Okay, thank you. Took a while, sorry about that. Okay. Sorry for my pause there. I'm just trying to think how to put it, because this Fool, which is the first card in the deck, always seems to look disappointed and sad, but the meaning of the Fool card is a new journey, setting out courageously and with faith and determination, bravely setting out. So I think this reading is very possibly going to clarify what I've read in the past, crossed by bringing a new plan to fruition, looking at alternatives, what ship to bring into harbour, waiting for the ship to come in. Thank you. The 2 is what ship to bring in. This is waiting for the ship to come in on calmer waters with a plan. Base of the pack, base of the reading. We have this partisan infighting, this immature squabbling, these conflicting messages coming forward. Yeah. In the past, Knight of Wands, passion and a plan, bringing forward a new message of a new passion and a plan. She has an agenda that she hasn't revealed yet. And if it's what the previous reading was, we'll go into that in a moment. Immediate future. So crowning it is she has an agenda that she is not revealing as of yet, and it is being the 2, the High Priestess. It is very significant, and she's standing over this Fool as it sets out on this brave new journey after disappointment. Okay, immediate future for her comes down to this is the what ship do I bring into harbour. This is a crossroads she's at of what plan does she follow? Which way does she go? Stormy clouds in behind compared to the 3 where it's the calmer waters. So this is the immediate future for her. She is at this crossroads as to what path she's going to end up going down. Externally, there's a lot of messaging coming forward really quickly. Internally, it is burdensome for her. She's carrying this really heavy load. Hopes and fears. Fear is manipulation. The hope is pulling the hat out of the rabbit. The hat out of the rabbit out of the hat. But the fear is the manipulation. Outcome. This is the voter. Oh, it looks good. Okay. The Star of Hope. Restoration and respite. The recovery of the democracy in America. Queen of Cups. Very much. Okay, Liz. This is Liz Cheney. She is a powerful, compassionate female who is well-spoken, diplomatic, calm, as we've seen in the January 6th panel committee hearings, but she does have something that is yet to be revealed in that cup, and it is about forging a new path. The Emperor, Russia, oh dear, and rebalancing. So her concentration, so she's part of this investigation into Trump's Russia, which will lead to a rebalancing and a more moderate future for the US. So it's not yet decided, but she does have this hidden agenda wondering what path to follow, what ship to bring into port. She is finding, so the external attacks and messaging, okay, thank you, the external attacks and messaging, and I'm seeing this is coming from the Trump base, she is finding very burdensome, and with her twin roles of representative for Wyoming and deputy on the January 6th committee, she is finding herself struggling to get her message across as a Republican, but also just the burden of the weight. So it's going to be okay. It's down to the voter with this star of hope. But I think she has something up her sleeve as she is investigating Trump and his connections to Russia and bringing moderation back to the country. Now, I didn't ask on the GOP itself, I just her political future. What I have seen in the past, quite clearly with Liz Cheney, is it's very possible that she will lose the primary. I'll watch this with interest. I might even read a little bit closer. Very possibly she will lose the primary. She will then run as an independent in Wyoming, a GOP right-leaning independent, unlike Bernie Sanders, who's a very left-leaning independent, and I have seen her winning that. So the cards are a bit confused over what outcome is going to occur. I have seen her winning Wyoming, but not as GOP. And I think what's going to happen is she's going to form a new form of GOP and rebuild after that all happens. So that's Liz Cheney. We shall watch that with interest. Okay, now I'm going to have a look at Biden. Is he going to declare... Oops, pardon me. Back to my runic tarot. They are a bit dark. I should have turned the lights on. I do apologise. I love this. Knight of Cups, bringing forth an offer, an emotional relationship offer. Biden going to... So the US climate envoy, I suspect that's to the UN, John Kerry, has said that Biden is considering declaring a climate emergency so that he can bring through the key points that he wants to get through with his Renewable Energy Agenda. I mean, seriously, guys, the world is burning, the world is flooding. It's Mother Earth's resetting. She's not trying to wipe us out or anything like that. But it is very confusing. I picked my first asparagus of the season the other day. Ate it in the garden, was beautiful. At the same time that my passion fruit and tomatoes are still fruiting from last season. My garlic is not ready, but the asparagus has come out. I had my plum tree flowering the other week, and then the flower fell off because obviously it's not time yet. We need to look and listen to nature. Because we live in this surrounded and organised environment, we don't we're not aware as people of the intricacies and the very subtle climate changes that are occurring in the world, but nature is. So we only need to look at what the plants and the birds and the animals and the insects, etc., are telling us to know that it's all out of kilter. Okay, so Biden's Renewable Energy Agenda was held up in Congress by the fossil lobby. He didn't need a filibuster, he only needed a majority, but Manchin, who has substantial coal interests and receives coal donations, chose not to vote for it in his own personal interest. He's not representing the people at all. Please, 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 voters, while I'm talking about mentioned this flipped out death, endings and beginnings, authentic reform, and this is also what I was talking about with the Renewable Energy Agenda, authentic reform. We're at this gateway, this archway, this ability to step through into something that is really positive, and we need to have the courage to make that step. What was I saying? Oh, yes. When you're voting, please vote. Look at how these representatives vote. Look at their history of voting. Are they voting for the best interests of you as a constituent, or are they voting for their own best interests? So please take note. Okay. Will Biden, I'm getting a no. What I'm getting is that he's going to wait until after the midterms, but we'll see how it pans out. Is Biden going to declare a climate emergency to get his, because the midterms, what are we looking at, November? What are we, July? 4 months. Because even if he declares a climate emergency, I don't know how much he'd be able to get through prior to November. But let's have a look. Will Biden declare a climate emergency? I'm getting that there will be something, but it will be a watered down version. Okay, the Fool. Not foolish. This is in this particular card, he is an older figure. Often it's a youth, but in this particular deck, he's an older figure, striding forward confidently, with everything he needs in his little swag on his stick, with confidence and faith and courage towards what the future holds for him. So I'm seeing this actually as Biden. I love the little pig there. Wonder if that's supposed to be one of his dogs. But it's also taking nature with you. Taking nature with you. We are at a moment of a harsh truth. You cannot deny that. There is a harsh truth being exposed. There is lies and deceit. This is sabotage and betrayal. Okay, thank you. Sabotage and betrayal. The world is burning due to the betrayal of these that are paid by the fossil fuel industry. There is a harsh truth about who is betraying, and then we have this inspirational figure, which is also surrounded by fire. Feminine energy. The women are going to come out and make this change happen as they watch their world burn. We're at a crossroads of the truth. The corpses decaying on the trees behind. Somewhat blindfolded but aware of what the weather's doing, because this figure is naked, but they are at a crossroads where they have to make a really important decision. Heartbreak, loss, disappointment in what's gone on already, anxiety. There is a lot of anxiety around in regards to this topic at the moment, because people are finally seeing with their own eyes what the scientists have been trying to tell us for decades. Since the 1960s, if you can believe, was when the first alarm bells were sent by scientists in New Zealand, actually, of all places. But there is this great anxiety. But I think what's happened is, so we're at this crossroads with this truth. We've got this inspirational figure that's getting the message out. We are at a crossroads. There is disappointment. So look at all these swords. There is wisdom emerging and disappointment in the truth. This allowing, this harsh truth coming forward about those that have allowed it to burn. And this great anxiety. But the star of hope, the star of protection coming forward. Restoration, respite, things happening, slow, steady progress, but determined progress. So it's not going to happen overnight, but it will be solid, dependable progress forward. And it will be the youth that will be inspiring. It is an inspired youth with their message. This is really telling me the Eight of Pentacles, a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of skills being developed and brought up. There's a lot of startup companies that have a really incredible innovation in regards to this issue. Difficult contracts and agreements to enter, but we have this Queen of Swords. We have this Queen of Swords, and then she's going to combine with this inspiration, so this wisdom and intellect, knowledge, technology is going to combine with this inspiring, confident messaging, the giving and receiving help. And then we have the other Queen at the base, the Queen of Pentacles, security, health, wealth, practicality. She's incredibly practical. So what I'm really seeing from this is I'm not getting a yes. I mean, that is a yes card, but I'm not getting a yes that he's actually going to declare. I'm pretty sure he's going to wait until the midterms. I might just ask that, and then that'll wind us up for today. Is Biden, so that he can go forward with the majority of Congress, because don't be alarmed by what the media is reporting. The Democrats will get the majority in both houses. Is he going to wait, being this close to the midterms, is he going to wait to the midterms so he actually has the backing of the House and Congress, so it is all above board for the climate, the Renewable Energy Agenda? Is Biden actually going to wait till the midterms? Yes, no, please. Is Biden going to wait till the midterms so that he has the actual support, he's not pushing anything through? Oh, interesting. Okay, there will be some disappointment. My Boudica card, yes, that's a yes. That's actually a yes, believe it or not, but it won't be to the extent that we would like. Okay, now it's making sense. Disappointment at what is on offer. What is on offer now? Immediately below it is this, because of those stealing and lying and raping and pillaging while the world burns. But we've got my Chariot card. We've got my Seven of Pentacles, which is about actually fulfilling a mission, authentic reform coming forward. The Ten of Wands, which is Ten of Wands? I'll have to have a look to see whether, yeah, that is the Ten of Wands, because the Ten of Pentacles is the two ships. This is about bringing unity to Mother Earth. This is about the end of a cycle, replenishing Mother Earth. The Truth, moving on from troubled waters. And the Two of Pentacles. It is a bit of a juggling act at the moment, but this is about moving forward to a bright new future. At the moment, we're feeling loss and disappointment. We're feeling like we're under attack. But be inspired, be inspired, be inspired. And it comes down to the voter. And return to simplicity. King of Wands, inspirational, confident energy. As King of Cups, my Biden card, Fool, setting out on a new journey full of courage and bravery. And then we have the voter, the celebration of the voter, and going back to simplicity of times where it was actually about working together, circles of support, community, abundance, looking after each other. Okay. That was my few for today. Sorry that went on a bit long. You know me, ask a question, get 5 more. So thank you for joining me. And I shall see you next time. I'm actually not going to make the next video as I mentioned that I was going to. I'll see how I feel in a couple of days' time. I'm off to have my sweet potato and ginger soup with extra garlic. And hopefully that'll pep everything up and scare all the lurgy bugs away. So look after yourselves, take care. Don't forget to let it be known that anybody can vote in Wyoming. Connect with your ancestral spirits. That was amazing. I still feel it was amazing. Connect with your ancestral spirits. Love to you all, and I shall catch you next time. Bye-bye.